Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. As you know, movies and TV shows get remade all the time, but there's something extra special about a video game remake. Being able to revisit a beloved video game of yesteryear with modern revamped graphics and mechanics is always exciting, especially because it often introduces classic series to brand new audiences. To that end, here are my picks for the best 10 remakes to play in 2023. Let me know in comments if I missed out on any games that should be included, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope you enjoy this video.
Get tactical, Marines!
The Halo Master Chief Collection includes 5 remasters of Halo titles. As a nice bonus, PC players also got access to the prequel of the whole series, Halo Reach. The main protagonist for the majority of the cult game series, Master Chief, takes part in the war between humans and the Alliance, which includes other races living in space. The exception is Halo 4, which starts an entirely new storyline. All games included in Halo Master Chief Collection has been completely refreshed, and the players have also been given a full multiplayer mode with maps known from the original production. This new version is an absolute must-have for those who still haven't played the original trilogy. Not to mention the fact that it's a good opportunity to relive the outstanding RPG set in space. BioWare created a universe full of well-written stories and characters, tons of planets to explore, and loot to collect. Probably the best thing about the new version of the original trilogy is that the first Mass Effect can finally get the love it deserves. Being a title from 2007, it did age significantly. Other than that, both of the later installments didn't get too wonky with time and are still relatively playable. Nonetheless, it's nice to see them so nice and neat. Call of Duty Modern Warfare is remembered by players, primarily for the very atmospheric mission in Chernobyl. Sneaking through the devastated enemy-controlled areas near the former nuclear reactor in Ukraine was still fresh in our memories long after the game ended. The remastered version of the title was initially intended to be added only to Call of Duty Infinite Warfare Deluxe Edition. However, due to player requests, it was eventually released as an independent production. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered features higher resolution textures and new animations, followed by improved lighting, shadows, and audio track. The gameplay mechanics remained unchanged. Shadow of the Colossus was a landmark achievement when it hit the PS2 in 2005. Team ICO built a lonely, desolate, deeply affecting world on some incredibly limited hardware, and while the core game stands the test of time, its technical performance and visual clarity were clearly held back. Fast forward 13 years, and Bluepoint Games, which previously remastered both ICO and Shadow of the Colossus, got its hands on the remake and completely modernized it. With a much steadier frame rate, gorgeous graphics, and a commitment to keeping the soul of the original intact, Bluepoint hit it out of the park enough to get the chance to remake Demon's Souls and eventually be acquired by PlayStation. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2 is a great example of how games should be remade. Vicarious Visions has given veteran players a beautiful return to the past by faithfully recreating the first 2 titles of the cult skateboarding simulators game series. All familiar skaters from the original titles appear in this remake, as well as a full list of well-known and adored skate parks. What's more, the range of tricks to perform has been expanded, as well as the list of new tasks. And as a cherry on top, the players got the skate park editor with new functions, allowing them to unleash their creative side.
Guess you're never far from a rat ninja.
Final Fantasy VII made plenty of noise back in the 90s. With its groundbreaking graphics, gripping plot, and memorable boss fights, it set the bar exceedingly high for all RPGs. Being in charge of reimagining such an iconic title is a hell of a responsibility. Luckily, Square Enix did a spectacular job. All of the original's advantages got elevated to a new level, thanks to splendid voice acting and stunning graphics. The story and engaging battles managed to keep you on edge, while fun mini-games let you catch your breath. For many older players, Final Fantasy VII was their first encounter with the series. There's absolutely no shame in starting your journey with this game if you're unfamiliar with the franchise.
Bring it! You can do it!
Some things are worth waiting for despite the delays, and Dead Space fits such a category of releases very well. Back in 2008, it was a panic-inducing gore fest with an amazing design, a wide selection of weapons, and horrendous monsters that you had to exterminate violently. The controls and movements are too wonky for modern standards. That's why Dead Space Remake is exactly what gamers are craving for in a remade version of a title. All implemented changes such as the smooth graphics, intuitive mechanics, and top-quality sound effects complete an important task of maintaining a unique atmosphere.
Make us one.
Humanity will be made whole, Mr. Clark. With
As good as Demon's Souls was back in 2009, it is a game that shows its age when viewed through a modern lens, especially one informed by subsequent iterations of the Souls series. The 2020 remake of Demon's Souls completely stripped away those technical shortcomings that held the PS3 version back, while adding several subtle quality-of-life upgrades that succeeded in modernizing the game to the point where if you never played the original, you could very likely be fooled into thinking that this was the latest entry in the Souls series as opposed to the very first one. Bluepoint managed to stay completely respectful to the original vision, while also adding their own signature touches that only served to help elevate what was already one of the best games of the PS3 era. It's so hard to accept the fact that the original Resident Evil 2 came out on PlayStation in 1998. Since then, Capcom has acquired massive baggage of experience to guide them, taking everything good from Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 7, as well as avoiding mistakes and weaknesses of other parts. The developer rolled out a superb third-person action-adventure. The original was a perfect candidate for a remake because it had great gameplay at its core, yet had imperfections on the outside, wonky design, poor voice acting, and a rather flat plot. Resident Evil 2 handles all these aspects while maintaining the old-school charm. The Last of Us Part 1 had everything that made titles on Sony's consoles so iconic and desirable. Apart from the well-executed technical aspects, like stunning graphics and dynamic gameplay, the title won over millions of players with its plot and characters. Making your players sob in the first 20 minutes of the run is surely the best way of getting attached to the protagonist. Time flies, so it was hard to notice 9 years passing since the initial premiere. This is a nice trend, as more and more signature PlayStation games are making it to the PC.